everybody. Thanks for joining me as we take a look at your work week forecast for April 3rd through the 7th. First full week in April anyway. And definitely looking at a pretty spring-like pattern for this week. Temperatures will be relatively warm, above average on a few days, and average basically the other days. And pretty active in terms of a lot of clouds, couple chances for some rain, sprinkles mixed in. Not a lot of rain, just chances for those. Overall, though, a pretty nice spring, early April week as we go through things. Let's take a look, first of all, at satellite imagery. We can see we do have a pretty active pattern. This doesn't necessarily show it. Here's our first system, which will come through, bring us a chance of some showers, mostly overnight tonight. But we'll see some sun, especially to start the day, and then we'll have some kind of filtered cloudiness as we move through the day. We'll get more and more clouds to kind of thicken and lower as we head through the day before we have a chance at some showers this evening. Then in between those two, this line of clouds here will continue to kind of affect the area over most of the day on Tuesday, even though most of the day, I think Tuesday will be basically dry. Most of the rain happens tonight before we have another chance Wednesday evening at another chance as a real storm kind of gets going here across the central part of the country. Unfortunately, we're looking at some pretty high chance on tomorrow of severe weather here again across a lot of the same areas that saw the severe weather last week. The setup synoptically is very similar in some ways to what happened then. The storm will roll through. It'll be somewhat similar to what happened to us on Saturday, as we'll start off with some cool rain, but everything is moving a little bit faster. So instead of kind of stretching that out over a day and a half, basically it all happens Wednesday night into Thursday morning. We could still have some lingering showers around, and the front doesn't pass through at a time where we don't get a chance to really spike the temperatures quite as much, although Thursday will be pretty warm. Let's take a look at radar here, and losing some of our radar as we go throughout the day, but here you can kind of see all of this here is not hitting the ground. So even though it looks like, oh, maybe as that warm front kind of is pushing into our direction, we're going to get a chance at a few snow flurries this morning. I don't think any of that hits the ground. We will see some clouds with that, but also what this is getting that southwest flow into our area, which is giving us warming up chances. After we were pretty chilly yesterday, at least for the first part of April. Today, after this moves through, after starting off chilly, we will definitely warm up pretty significantly. If we take a look at the overall pattern, this is the 500 millibar vorticity chart, which basically just colors equals where there are places where there's energy in the atmosphere. You can see there's a lot going on. Kind of a broad trough across the United States with a fast-moving pattern. Eventually, we'll move towards more of a ridge in the east towards the end of the week. But you can see lots of different little pockets of energy in the atmosphere, and that's going to keep our weather pattern relatively active over the next several days. No big storms with this kind of stuff, but lots of chances for littler storms with this kind of a pattern set up. Here is the setup for today. You can see the storm is moving well to our north. The warm front's already basically starting to move through by this evening. It certainly moved well through. We're into the warmer air this afternoon, so temperatures will come up pretty significantly this afternoon, and then the front will kind of move through over the evening with a few sprinkles with it. I don't think we're going to get more than about maybe a tenth to 3/10 of an inch of precipitation, so not really that much with it overall, but a few showers this evening. Most of them will happen overnight while you are asleep. As we head to Wednesday, that's the next chance. Here's the storm to our west. Again, severe weather Tuesday, and then on Wednesday, that severe weather threat moves to basically Ohio, out to our west, maybe even western Pennsylvania, western New York. But I don't think it gets in here, mostly because of timing issues. We'll really spike the warmth up throughout the day or the overnight. We get the temperatures aloft to go way up, but of course it's overnight, so we're not spiking temperatures quite as much. It'll take a little longer for the cooler air to move in behind the system on Thursday, so even after the front clears, which will happen probably by Thursday mid-morning with the last of the showers, we'll still actually get a pretty warm day out of it on Thursday before temperatures start to cool back down, and then eventually on Friday we're actually back down to kind of a chillier than average day, a lot like yesterday on Friday with that dry northwesterly flow. This storm, a little bit more precipitation out of the storm, probably looking at more like a quarter to maybe a half an inch of precipitation. Again, still not huge amounts of precipitation, except for out to our west where the thunderstorms happen. But definitely the timing doesn't look right for us to get the thunderstorms. So that'll really kind of hold back on that kind of stuff for us. What's your forecast look like overall for your work week? Today, temperatures in the low 50s. Again, it's a few degrees above average for this time of year, probably mid to upper 40s for averages this time of year. Temperatures rise pretty quick this time of year. Obviously, we go from the beginning of April, where we're often in the 40s, end of April, upper 50s to around 60, pretty average by the end of April. So yeah, big transition this month. Again, low to mid 50s. It's pretty nice. Sun this morning, more clouds this afternoon, sprinkles, particularly anytime in the evening. Sprinkles could happen anytime, I would say, after about 5 o'clock, 5, 6 o'clock and after. And then Tuesday, we are starting off the day. A couple sprinkles could be left over when you first wake up on Tuesday, but then we clear out. Temperatures in the upper 40s, pretty average day on Tuesday after starting off in the mid 30s. We did start off chilly this morning. I was actually in the teens this morning at my house, so a chilly start, even though we are going to warm up pretty significantly. Wednesday, we are held back somewhat by the clouds moving in throughout the day. And that'll kind of, aloft, we're kind of chilly still after the frontal passage. So that holds our temperatures back some in the 40s. Warm enough that we see all rain out of the system. To our north, there might be some mixing in with this in northern Vermont, but I think we stay all rain out of this. And again, rain, not exactly a huge amount of rain, maybe up to half an inch with this one. Thursday, temperatures spike a bit, although because of we don't have a chance to get some sun during the warmer part of the day. So even though aloft will get warm, we hold our temperatures in the upper 50s, not getting quite to the 60s on Thursday. Temperatures fall back down, and then we kind of gradually cool back off into the 30s overnight, Thursday into Friday. And then Friday's not exactly chilly, not quite as chilly as yesterday. Certainly temperatures find their way up into the low to mid 40s for a lot of us. It'll be breezy, so it'll feel a bit cooler. But then we're kind of setting the stage for a nice weekend, it looks like, for your Easter weekend. Let's take a look at those highlights real quick before we finish up here. Spring-like week with a couple of rain chances. Light showers this evening that could linger into tomorrow morning. Rain Wednesday evening and overnight with a frontal passage. Breezy and cooler on Friday, and a nice Easter weekend looks likely. All right, that's what we're looking at in terms of your forecast for the week. Looks like a pretty nice week in many ways, just to avoid those sprinkles tonight. And then again, mostly Wednesday night into the early on Thursday morning. Otherwise, pretty good weather. If you haven't subscribed to my YouTube channel before, I'd encourage you to do so. Helps make sure you don't miss any of my videos. And want to give a quick shout out to my patrons. They help support what I do here at the West River Weather Guy. And if you're interested in becoming a patron, there is a link in the description below. I'll be back on Friday with a look at your weekend forecast.